Alright, so this is going to be the first video actually about, where we actually learned the RdRnnrCll. Hopefully by now you've watched the first video, which was the basics, and now you're watching this one. So what we're going to do is, to start off, you're just going to cull 4 cards. Okay, you don't want to get too ahead of yourself. You want to take this a step at a time. So 4 aces we'll start with. We lose them into different parts of the deck. Or we just drop some of the deck on the table. Either or. I should sit up. Okay. So, you've got the 4 aces in the middle, and here's what it's going to look like when you cull a 4 of a kind. Oh, I cut an extra card there. My bad. Okay, so it looks something like that. I messed that up, but you get it. Now, if you were watching closely, you would have noticed that the first cull was a RdRnnrCll, and all the others were slightly different. They were what is the RdRnnrCll. Okay? So you spread through, and that first card you get to is that RdRnnrCll card I taught you before. Okay, it's that RdRnnrCll. Then you continue, and from underneath the spread, this is what the RdRnnrCll looks like. Okay? That's what it looks like from underneath the spread. Now you'll notice that it's a lot easier to keep your motion, or well, your rhythm with the RdRnnrCll. That accordion action is easy to continue it. I'm going to break that down for you. Like I said, first card, standard RdRnnrCll. The second card, what you're going to do is you're going to clamp everything above it, okay, with the card that's riding underneath. So everything above it gets clamped in that right hand. What that allows you to do is with your fingers, you're going to walk it in. That card gets walked right underneath, and then you continue to spread. Okay? And when you get to the next card, clamp, walk it out. And then keep going, clamp, fingers, walk it out. Now it's basically your middle finger pulls and your index pulls. Okay, so that's why it's called the RdRnnrCll, because your fingers are basically walking along underneath the bottom of the deck. I'm going to take a couple cards here and shuffle them in, just so you can get a better idea of what this would look like, and it can make the explanation go on longer without having pauses. So, cards are all shuffled in, like that. So you get to the first one, and you RdRnnrCll it. Get to the second one, clamp everything above it, and then you're going to walk it out. Now you'll notice something here. I got to my second card, and there were 2 cards side by side. Now at this point, if you were doing a normal cull, you'd have to cull both cards, continue, and every time you got to a block, you would have to cull one card, then the next. What the RdRnnrCll allows you to do is cull cards at the same time. I'll show you how that works. Standard RdRnnrCll. Now you get to, whoops, I didn't put those together. Let me put those together, and then we'll show you. So you continue and you get to those 2 cards. Now you'll notice, remember before when I showed you the RdRnnrCll, and I tried to pull the card out without the clamping of the thumb, all the cards above it pulled underneath, right? But look at this, if we're clamping here, when I pull with my index, none of these cards are going to move. So, if we pull on the second card, the 7, the queen comes along with it. And then we can continue with your RdRnnrCll. Okay? So, there's some important tips here that help with the RdRnnrCll. One of them is, you'll notice at one point I lost my cards back in the center of the deck. The way to avoid that is to break at your wrist. Okay? Instead of having your wrists both straight like this and then trying to cull, what you're going to do is your right wrist is going to bend inwards. That way, as you're culling, the cards are going to get pulled straight out, and they're going to be shooting sideways underneath the deck rather than straight back in at it. So if your wrists are turned towards each other, or well, turned towards the ground in a V type, it's going to make the it's going to make you not lose the cards back in the center of the deck. Okay? So yeah, that's the RdRnnrCll in essence. The very simplified version of it, without going into too much detail. That's how it's done. At this point, you're probably thinking uses of it and stuff. Costia has a great triumph effect, as well as a great collector's effect with it. There's a lot of things you can do with it. You can use it as a force, even. I'm going to show you that in a second. I'm just going to run you through this again. Actually, let me. There's another subtlety that I didn't talk about yet. You'll notice when I went to cull the whole deck at the beginning, when I was really doing my demonstration, I spread. The deck was in this type of position, right? I spread through and I brought one of the face-up cards to the top. There's a good reason for this. If I were to have that card in the middle and I just started culling straight from that card, right? I just started culling straight from it. Look how weird that looks. That doesn't look mixed up at all. It just looks like the face-up cards are vanishing, right? But now, let me shuffle these back in. Oh, by the way, if any of you have seen the Gray Shuffle, it's a great fall shuffle. Look it up. It's I forget the guy's name. It's in the Past Midnight DVD. Something called something that's similar to that, and it's a great shuffle. Okay. Anyways, off topic a little, but we'll get back to it. So if I take that face-up card and I put it on top, and then I continue culling, seeing that face-up card registers a lot better and makes the deck look a little more messy as you spread through and cull. Okay? So if you're culling all the face-up cards, make sure a face-up card's on top. And then later on you can just slip cut that into the middle, or into the rest of your cards. Okay? So let me uncull these, get these all away. Now I'm not making an effort to make this smooth or anything. At this point I'm just trying to do it quickly. Oh, I lost some into the middle because I didn't break at the wrist. Remember that's a key point, and I don't do it a lot, and you can get screwed by it. Actually, I didn't lose any in the middle. That's interesting. So yeah, that's the basics of it. One more thing, I'm just going to touch on this before I move on to the next video, is we'll say you have a group of 7 or 8 cards all together. Let me actually get that 7 or 8 cards together in your RdRnnrCll. Okay? So you've done your first card, your RdRnnrCll, and then you spread through and you realize I've got 7 or 8 cards together. Now technically you could spread and cull all of them, okay? But then you've got just a whole chunk of cards disappearing. What you're going to do is you're going to do it 2 or 3 at a time. You go 2, keep going, do a couple more, keep going, do a couple, do it like 2 or 3 at a time. Don't rush, make the moves nice, slow, and keep it flowing, okay? There you go. I'm going to go into some cool moves that are going to help you with your cull, what to do when you lose your cull, all that in the next video.